Did he decide to slack off and sleep the day away?
Hey, over here!
Oh, you scared Paimon! How did you appear out of nowhere like that?
Oh, you scare so easily now? Is there something worrying you these days?
Oh, you little... The only thing we're worried about was trying to find you.
Sorry. Come over here and keep it down.
Oh, Lynette! You're here too! You two really are inseparable.
That's right. My brother simply can't stand to be away from me.
It's not just Lynette. Fremine is also here. Do you still remember him?
Oh, you mean that diver from the House of the Hearth, right? Paimon remembers seeing him in the Court of Fontaine before. Now hurry up and tell us, how did you end up as criminals this time? We fought so hard at court to prove you were innocent, but now it looks like our incredible court battle was for nothing!
Sadly, even the teeniest of things can land you in prison these days. I put together a street performance and used the popularity we gained from the Opera House incident to attract a big crowd.
And then?
Next, I invited several audience members to participate in the show. And then, with the entire audience watching, their wallet suddenly disappeared.
My brother was charged with theft, and I was charged as his accomplice, having assisted him in his crime.
It really isn't that bad. The missing wallets are all in the leftmost drawer of the Maison Gardiennage's big filing cabinet. We just need to see how long it takes to discover them.
Yep, we should be released then.
In terms of the magic trick itself, I think the performance went perfectly.
Leave it to Lenny to magic himself into prison.
Indeed. Last time I hid my identity from you, I promised that I'd tell you absolutely everything if you were angry about it. No more secrets. So I don't plan on keeping anything from you this time either. At the moment, the House of the Hearth's interests don't conflict with yours at all. We were instructed by the father of our house, the Knave, to come here and conduct an investigation.
Told you so! See? Paimon guessed right.
As for what we're investigating, perhaps you haven't heard, but the fortress of Meropide hides a secret. Some even say that the entire fortress exists just to protect it. The House of the Hearth has been investigating this for a very long time, trying to uncover its mysteries. But recently, all of our informants, including the ones that had infiltrated the guards, suddenly vanished and have not been heard from since. We believe that this is a direct provocation, and it's the reason why we came here. Father has somehow managed to confirm that Focalors does not have Fontaine's gnosis.
Huh? How did she manage to learn information that important?
Father has her ways. Many of them are beyond our imagination, and we've never had the chance to see her at work. But we trust her conclusions.
It was this information that led us to suspect that Fontaine's gnosis might be in the fortress of Meropide and is related to that secret.
So it's all about the gnosis again.
Well, that's about it from our side. How about you two? Did Monsieur Nervulette send you here?
Bingo! The Knave has been applying a lot of pressure. She wants to know what happened to Child, so we came here to investigate. Traveler, are we allowed to tell them?
You don't need to worry too much about that. She's just asking for a report on Master Child's predicament as a means of pressuring you. Father used this situation as a pretext to negotiate with two high-ranking officials in the court of Fontaine. She actually just wants to be able to make concessions on this matter for gains elsewhere, almost like a bargaining chip.
Sometimes you need an excuse to do things you otherwise couldn't. And a harbinger is more valuable than you might imagine.
Of course, it's not a complete farce. If we do manage to find out what happened to Master Child 2, then diplomatic relations with Fontaine could improve, and Snezhnaya might even be able to adjust its stance a bit.
Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like we're the only ones who actually care about Child's situation? The relationship between the Harbingers must be as bad as ever.
I wouldn't go that far. Father just has different standards than we do when it comes to what can be sacrificed for an advantage. By the way, I have a suggestion. Why don't we team up? Even though we have different objectives, we're both here to investigate the fortress of Meropide. It would be more efficient for us to work together. As you know, the House of the Hearth has many reasons to seek the Gnosis, but our highest priority remains resolving the prophesized crisis. You can trust us on that.
See, I told you.
Is that so? Sure enough, it won't be easy to convince them to cooperate with us.
Lenny seems to be thinking pretty hard about something.
Of course he is. Lenny has been looking forward to a chance to reach an understanding with you ever since last we met. Or, I should say, we were really looking forward to teaming up with you this time.
Lynette, just tell them everything, why don't you?
It's okay to open up a little.
Very prudent of you, and consistent with your behavior since we first met. That's reasonable enough, and I agreed to cooperate on these terms as well. I was prepared for the worst, but you were actually more agreeable than I anticipated. All right then, there's no time to lose. I have some information to share, so listen carefully. Since Lynette and I arrived here, our investigation uncovered the fact that the Fortress of Meropide has a forbidden zone. Most people just clammed up and wouldn't talk, but after asking the right questions, we were able to confirm the existence of the forbidden zone from the guards. You should be aware of that while you're investigating.
A forbidden zone? Could that be where Child disappeared to? You're right, we'll definitely keep that in mind.
Good. That's the most suspicious thing about the fortress that we know of so far. We have a few other unanswered questions, and we'll be investigating those as quickly as we can. Anyway, I hope you find our information useful at least. Oh, look at the time. You two must be hungry. You should go to the coupon cafeteria and get something to eat. I'll use my cards to get in touch with you again in the future.
Oh, that's just what Paimon wanted to hear! Paimon's starving after all that work today. We can talk more about the investigation later. Let's go get some grub!